So you're reading your script, it's all going rather swimmingly, and then suddenly you have an urge to do something, and you can't stop it. It is breathing. Hi, hello, I hope you're in fine voice. Now, breathing in voiceovers can be a real issue, or so it seems. You can be recording that piece, listening back, and you think, oh, all I can hear is my breath. The main thing to do is not to panic. Breathing is quite natural. Everyone's doing it these days. And you wouldn't, in the real world, you wouldn't be chatting to a friend and thinking, right, in about 4 sentences time, I'm going to take a big lungful of air. It just wouldn't happen. And you shouldn't have that approach in voiceovers either. So one of the ways you can help your breathing in voiceovers is to actually mark the script. And I would go through the script a couple of times and put a little B or a tick or some mark where you think the breath should be. So if you're rehearsing it, you'll get to have a feel for it, and you'll get to have a feel where the natural breaks are. So number 1 is mark the script. The second way of dealing with breathing in voiceovers is to remove the breaths using software such as Audacity. If you're recording in that, or Adobe Audition or GarageBand or whatever, you can just highlight it and delete the offending breath. You could do that between sentences or indeed between words. However, you can't do it within the word itself. Now be very careful with this method, because if you do it too much, it can make the whole piece sound rather odd, and it makes it sound like you're not breathing at all, particularly if it's a long form read. So just be careful of it. Sometimes it's actually easier and better to reduce the volume of the breath so that it's actually dipped vis-a-vis the rest of your reading. So that's something to bear in mind as well. So that's method number 2. And the third way, shock horror, a bit of a radical solution this, is to leave the breaths in. Now, this is perfectly acceptable, particularly in long-form readings such as audiobooks, where breathing is part of it. It allows let's admit it, it allows the piece to breathe, and the listener doesn't mind a little bit of breathing from you. So leave those breaths in, don't edit them out. Now, that's not necessarily the case if it's a very punchy piece, such as a promo or something like that, where you might want to edit the breaths out. But in the main, I would say leave them in, see what happens. Your client can always send them back if they don't think it's suitable and if you're too breathy. And also, I would remove your headphones as well, because if you're wearing headphones, it will cause your ears and your brain to simply focus in on the breaths and not on the meaning of the script and the words, which is what you want really. So please don't get hung up on that breathing. Just relax. Don't worry about it too much. There are lots of solutions, and it's probably affecting you and concerning you far, far more than your client or your listener. All right. Thanks very much for listening today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care of your voice.